Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be kind of my beauty expenses roundup for the year. So I gave myself a budget last year, and then I also gave myself a budget this year, and this year's budget was even more tight as compared to last year. If you did not watch the introduction video in the beginning of the year, I gave myself a budget for the entire year to spend only 40,000 on beauty products in general. So that includes skincare, that doesn't include makeup, but it does include hair care and bath and body stuff as well. And I know for a lot of people 40,000 might seem like a lot, but you guys, actually, when you think about the number of products that you use up in a year, and you think about how much you go through skincare, depending on like how much you're into skincare versus how much you're not into skincare, 40,000 is not really much, to be completely honest, especially if you're someone who only purchases like budget beauty. If you are someone who purchases from high-end brands, then of course 40,000 is going to be like peanuts for you. But in the previous year, which is 2021, I spent close to 60,000. That's the budget that I had given myself, and I did a pretty good job at like sticking to it, which is why I decided this year, since I'm anyways cutting down a lot of steps in my skincare routine, it would make more sense to make the budget a little bit tighter. And I could have definitely sticked to it very, very well if I did not experiment as much as I did this year. I feel like this year, if you go back to my channel and you watch, you will see a ton of videos throughout the year, maybe like more than 5 or 6 videos. I haven't really exactly counted how many I did, but I did a lot of declutter videos in 2022, because when I was testing out so many products and I was discovering so many new things, I also found that a lot of things that I was trying out, I was not the biggest fan of. And in the past, what I would do is, when something like that happened, I would force myself to use up the entire thing because I spend the money on it. But this year, I told myself that I do not want to continue doing that, just because I want to enjoy my skincare routine. I don't want to kind of force myself to use something that I don't really like, or if something's not working for my skin, I don't want to just continue using it for the sake of it. And that has actually worked out for me, because I've felt and I have seen physically my skin being so much more happier, being so much better when I used products that I actually loved. So keeping that in mind, I feel like a lot of people, like if you are someone who doesn't want to spend too much money on skincare, and if you discover something that you don't like, you force yourself to use it. So if that works for you, then continue doing that. I've done that in the past, and I felt like my skin wasn't as happy, and I didn't really see my skin looking that good when I was just forcing myself to use things I didn't want to use, or if I was forcing myself to use things that I did not really like. So this new approach that I have taken is working better for me, but it's pinching my wallet way more, because I've definitely gone way, way, way over budget this year in terms of my goals. So what I did was, I gave myself a budget of 40,000, but then when I noticed that I'm majorly going over budget because of like all of the declutter that happened. So keeping that in mind, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give myself this extra allowance of 10,000, just keeping in mind that a lot of products I decluttered this year as well. So that brings us to the figure of 50,000, which I also surpassed. So when I like total my like all the expenses that I made this year, I have an even bigger excess of around 7,850 rupees. So that makes my total expenses of this year across all categories, it is 57,850 in total. That includes skincare, that includes hair care, that includes bath and body, and that does exclude makeup. So that's my overall budget of this year, which I know is a big, big, big amount. It's very close to the amount of money that I spent last year, which was around 60,000. So maybe the fact that I gave myself this like like I made the budget more tight this year, maybe that did not work out for me personally. But something else that I also want to consider, and another factor that I don't like to speak about a ton because I think it's super personal, is that A lot of times I end up buying skincare for myself, but then I end up giving it away. And when I say giving it away, I don't mean declutter. I mean like I give it as gifts to people. So if I have friends who are super close to me who like want to get into skincare, I would like to gift them some of my favorite skincare products and help them and encourage them to get into skincare. There are times where a lot of times, like specifically for retinol, and I have this specific product in mind, which is the Earth Rhythm Rapid Renew Concentrate. A lot of times I buy backups of this, and then when my mom runs out of her retinol, I just give her mine, the whatever stock I have left. Apart from that, a lot of times I also give her my sunscreens. So we both are very big fans of the Dermaco and the Aqualogica sunscreens. So I made my mom try out the Dermaco one, and she fell so in love with it that I gave her, I think, 2 or 3 tubes of it recently to use. And then there are also other sunscreens. Like I feel like if I want to gift someone skincare, if I want to get someone into skincare, the first thing that I would try to get them on is sunscreen. So a lot of times, like since I'm anyways buying so many backups of sunscreens, I end up gifting those backups to them. The same thing happens with moisturizers also, since we're in the winters. A lot of times, like if I have guy friends in my life who I want to get into skincare and they start complaining about dry skin, I would like to gift them my favorite Chemist at Play night creams, because I think that is like an amazing product. It's really like good packaging as well, like heavy packaging, so it feels like a good gift to give someone. And of course the product in itself is also so amazing, and it's something that I just like to like pass on to people who I love in my life. So by doing that also, I feel like I tend to go over budget sometimes, but it's something I'm not complaining about, because I would rather go over budget and like make the people in my life happy, as compared to like being a miser or like being like, nah, I'm conjuice, I'm not going to give anyone skincare and stuff like that. So I would rather do what I'm doing right now and make people happy by doing that and like doing something good for them. So yeah, that's also one of the other reasons why I feel like I did end up going over budget, which again, I'm totally okay with doing that. So yeah, that's kind of what this year has looked like in terms of my skincare and beauty purchases in general. I also want to quickly like look at my list and tell you which places I have shopped from the most, and that will really give you an insight as to how I shop and where I shop from. So the names that I can see at the top of my head which I have purchased from the most are the Sublime Life website. A lot of times, like because of their rewards program and because of their MTS program, I end up making a lot of purchases from there. Also Plum, I shop from a ton from the Plum Goodness website whenever they have offers and discounts going on, because I love so much of the Plum beauty products that of course I'm purchasing a ton from there. Also Innovist, because I have purchased from Sunscoop, I've purchased from Chemist at Play. It's majorly Chemist at Play what I purchased from on the Innovist website. Then of course we have Dermaco, we have Aqualogica. Those two sister brands I purchase a ton from as well. Aqualogica I sort of started purchasing more towards the second half of the year, but Dermaco has always been on this list, and there are quite a few times that I purchased from them. Apart from that, of course, Earth Rhythm, you guys know I love. Our favorite, like when I say our, I mean my mom's and my favorite retinol comes from Earth Rhythm, and then of course Earth Rhythm makes a ton of other great stuff like moisturizers, like what else do I purchase a ton from them? I think that's pretty much it. Serums I haven't purchased so much in 2022, but I used to earlier. Then of course we have Formula RX, how could I forget that? We have what else do we have? Then I see some repetitions. I see like 2 or 3 purchases from Amazon. Of course I bought from Nykaa as well during their hot pink sale as well as the Pink Friday sale. Then we have Limeys Connect, we have Dr. Shades, we have Serene Skincare, we have Deconstruct Skincare, Wishcare, Thrive. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So the other brands that I mentioned towards the latter half of the video are ones that I have purchased like one orders from each of them, but yeah, I did purchase from them as well. Dot & Key, I forgot to mention Dot & Key. Did I mention Dr. Shades? Yeah. That's pretty much what the entire year looked like in terms of purchases. Now moving on to what we have in store for 2023. I just want to mention this right now in the video itself, that next year, in terms of my goals and in terms of my expenses, I will still continue to track my expenses, but I'm not giving myself a specific number or a specific goal. My goal is to not restrict myself to a certain budget, but my goal is to be more mindful about what I'm buying, when I'm buying. I'll make sure I'm buying things as much as possible during sales and save as much money as possible then. But apart from that, my goal is to make myself a little bit stricter in terms of buying as less as possible and using what I already have in my collection, and only buying more stuff when I need to. I think that's the goal that I realistically need to set for myself, because now I've reached a point in my skincare and beauty collection where it's become a lot better for me to like keep an inventory and not go overboard, and I've brought my collection to a good size where I really like how big it is, because it's not too big and it's not too small, and that's what I want to maintain. Like, I just want to maintain that particular thing and not go overboard. Like, that's the goal realistically, as compared to like giving myself a monetary goal in terms of like not spending about a certain amount. So yeah, if that makes any sense, that is kind of where I'm going with this. And let me know down below what your thoughts are. Let me know how much money do you tend to spend roughly in a year. Do you know, or is that something you track your beauty expenses in terms of certain, like in terms of these things? Let me know down below, and I would love to like chat with you about it. And also, if you have any insights that you would like to share with me, any tips you would like to share with me, please feel free to share that down below in the comment section. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. And again, like I always say in every single one of these videos, that since Vlogmas is going on, and of course we're slowly coming to an end, but there's a ton of video that I posted earlier this month in Vlogmas in December every single day. So if you haven't gone and check out those videos, please go ahead and check it out. But yes, in December I'm posting a new video every single day, so there's a ton of content already on the channel, and there's also a ton of more content coming up, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But that's gonna be it. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Until next time, bye bye.